In this video, we will discuss parcel tables. If you'd like to follow along with this video, please open the file parceltables.dwg located in the training folder as discussed in the Working with this Dataset video. Civil 3D provides methods to creating tables that reference your parcel segments. So what makes the parcel segments a table and what makes them read the actual labels themselves? In the Settings tab, let's go look at the parcel label styles for line segments. And what I'm going to do is we'll look at the bearing over distance, as this is the parcel label style being used by all of these labels within our drawing. I'm going to actually create a brand new one from the bearing over distance and make a child out of it, and we'll discuss how it actually will use the tags applied to the labels that the table will reference. Let's right-click on the bearing over distance label style and select New. When you do that, you will create a child style which will grab all of the settings and properties defined by this label style. So I'll go ahead and rename this to parentheses tags. And in the General tab, if you look at the display mode category under label, you'll see this is what makes it actually become a tag, and which will then use the tag to actually display that instead of the bearing over distance. Make sure you go to the Layout tab and then make sure this is set to true. Sometimes with certain labels it can be set to false, and obviously it will not display then. Click OK. We now have a new label style that we will apply to these objects, and the table will reference those tags. Let's start with a basic table, and let's go ahead and select the 4 labels here to change them to be that new label style. And we'll go to the Properties palette and select the bearing over distance and select the bearing over distance tags label, and notice how they now have tags applied to them. One of the downsides to making them tags is, depending on the order in which you created your parcels, it actually does give them a sequential number. There is a renumber tool, and it will take you some time to renumber the tags. I'll go to the Survey tab, and if this is not displaying, right-click the panel and go to Show Tabs, and then turn on the Survey tab and select the renumber tags in the Label and Tables panel. I'll start with this one here, and we'll just select it, and notice how it goes to L1. Now this is because I've already set this up in the settings, so let's go ahead and click on Settings here so you can tell which one to start with. So notice how I can set this to line starting number 2, because that's the next number, and then 10 for the table tag creation. So we'll also change this to 1 as well. I'll click OK, and continuing along here, I'll simply select this one here, and notice how it sets it to 2 automatically. We'll set this here, L3, and then L4. I'll press Escape, and let's go ahead and look at how we generate a table. So within the parcel category, there is a table styles category. Let's go ahead and look at the line category and this length and direction. I'll double click it, and we can just change some of the settings as far as the title and header styles, very similar to an AutoCAD table. And then down below here, I can actually add columns and remove columns. And to change any of the properties being displayed here, you simply double click here, and then you can add properties that you want to. And then of course we have the Display tab, which tells Civil 3D which subcomponents of the table to display and what layer and properties those subcomponents should have. Now that we have that applied, let's go ahead and just simply select one of the parcels, and I'll click on the Add Tables dropdown and click Add Line. So what I have to first do is select some tags. Notice down here you can actually convert label styles to tags over here, and then simply selecting it here and clicking Add Existing and New. We'll toggle this off, as I just want to create a table of these here, so I'll select this, and I'll do a crossing window, as it will only select tags if you want to. Select Don't Add Labels that are not in tag mode. And we get 4 tags. I'll click OK here, and there's our table. So now, as we're looking here, this of course does not make any sense. How come it didn't put them in the correct order? This setting here is defined in the table style. So let's go ahead and double click that table style that we just opened up, and notice the Sort Data option, and you can select the column by which to sort. So I'll go ahead and select column 1, click OK, and now it'll update automatically. Now let's go ahead and select the additional labels here. I'll right-click, select Similar, and then I'm going to go to the Properties palette. I'm going to change these all to the Tag label style. Now as soon as you do that, you need to actually redefine your table to update with this information. I'll click Add Items, and we'll click the button right here, and I'll just basically make a crossing window like so, and click OK, and now the table has updated automatically. Again, you will need to go in and renumber your tags, as you can see here. Depending on how you want to generate your table based on the subdivision design, you will need to recreate your labels.